I'm Megan Van Petten, founder of the Esports Trade Association and host of the Esports Connected podcast. I am inspired to share key tidbits from several interviews conducted with industry influencers over the 3-day span of our EsportsNext Conference. To be able to celebrate and learn from those who are shaping our community is such an honor. Press play and let the waterfall of knowledge wash over you as it did for me. Enjoy. Welcome to the Esports Trade Association, Esports Connected. I am still your host, Megan Van Petten, and I am so excited. Here we are live from Esports Next Beyond the Game with Carol Bettencourt. And here is what's so exciting about Carol. She's our production sponsor for the show, so we're here to talk all about it. Carol, a great big welcome to you.
Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you for having us. We are absolutely delighted to be your production sponsor because we believe in what you are doing. We believe in you.
Oh, well, boy, we've had a ton of shows, virtual, not a ton, we've had a few virtual shows, and I've had, a lot under my belt over the last 20 years, but these screens and these graphics and these overlays, wow.
Well, and this is just the start, I think, for us with esports and with what you're doing. You pulled this together in an amazing amount of time. We had some tremendous help. We're super grateful to LG and to UCG for everything they've provided to make this happen. And we're only looking forward to even bigger and better next time. We want to really bring broadcast grade technology to esports.
And that's exciting. I mean, a lot of our audience is able to see that. And even in person, there's a difference. There really is. You're serious here.
I think there is. Early on in our discussions, and you were so good to invite me to some of those online events that you had, and then I connected with some people afterwards. The question came up, Carol, why is your company trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist? We have overlays, we have our titles, we do this, but it really does make a difference when you can animate things, take that full level of graphics artistry, and we're even doing some really cool VSAR stuff based on the Unreal Engine. So we've got a lot to offer, and we are just super excited to be here sharing and hearing different people's stories.
It's, and I was just talking to LG before you and Dan Lunig, and what surprised me most about your all's product is oftentimes with a technology, you order it and you get it, and you don't have that hands-on. You don't have that touch point person. For me, I like that I look up and there's someone on your team. Like right now, I see someone on your team everywhere. And that, that means the world to me. I'm not buying just the technology. I am buying the service, the experience, and most importantly, the relationship. I'd love to talk about that a little.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, because at a certain level, that's really important. Mm-hmm. This is not a cell phone that you can unpack and maybe the guy at the store gives you 10 minutes of, here's what you got with your latest version of whatever kind of phone you love. This is, like I said, broadcast grade. I hate to keep saying that, but it's the same technology. In fact, NBC, one of our most recent projects that we're so proud of was NBC Olympics. They have a special dedicated division just for the Olympics. They used our graphics in front of millions of eyeballs. Telemundo used our virtual set in front of billions of eyeballs. The BBC uses our stuff. The Dallas Cowboys in their stadium. So we not only drive to air, but we drive in venue. This kind of content goes in front of millions of eyes, and it has to be perfect. It has to be top quality, and that's what we're aiming to bring to the vertical of esports that we believe so strongly in. We believe that this community is so passionate about what it does that it deserves the best, and we want to try to contribute that. And like you were saying at the start of your what we're talking about right now, it's not a just unpack and plug. Although it's very simple to use, it does require that dedication and that team, and we like to bring that.
Yeah, I'll just say that I've had the same show producer that I've always used for, years and years and years before he had gray hair.
I didn't know.
I know, that's why we call him Silver, because when I met him, he had brown hair, and then he jokes and says, "I made him I made it silver."
It's all your fault.
I know, he says that, and he is just so enjoying being at the tech table with your masters and viewing the technology in action.
Yeah.
And it's been really exciting for him as well. So I bring that up because I think think about what we're doing. We have all of these different people helping out. So I'll just give the rundown. We have UGC supplying equipment and some experiences. We have LG also with equipment and screens. We have Encore. They have their hands around everything. And then we have my in-house production person, and then we have Chyron, the sponsor, okay? So there's this tech table, and there's all these Radio Shack guys, right? They all want to see each other's stuff. They all want to touch it, and they're all getting along so well, and that's like very cool. It's very cool to see everyone play, everyone come together, everyone collaborate. We had 27 people on our esports committee for the event, and what I even like more is that Carol sponsored the program and worked with the 26 volunteers, and that also takes something,
Yes, it does.
I know.
and I love dealing with challenges. I love dealing with things I've never done before, and so you gave me the opportunity to do that. And you were just talking about all the guys back there at the tech table, and they're into each other's stuff and looking. And throughout this whole conference, I've been hearing over and over and over again about how important the sense of community is.
That's right.
To esports. And as I'm hearing those things, I'm thinking, well, that sounds a lot like the broadcast control room guys that I've worked with for the last 20 years. They know their stuff. We're all kind of related like family. And I think to see these two worlds, esports and tech, come together is like family meets family.
It does.
It's more family, and we're all having a blast.
Well, oh my God. Okay, I have two things to say about it. Two. There was a course I once took called Teams, TEAMS.
Okay.
And what it was is you were going to learn to work in a team. And it was designed around breakdowns. And I didn't know going into the class that it was just going to have breakdown after breakdown, problem after problem. So the whole design of the class was that we would be faced with obstacles and problems the whole time.
Wow.
I know. And that taught me how to just roll like this. And it was one of the best classes I've ever taken. If anybody wants to know about this class, it still exists, and it's actually a year program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then there's Teams Advanced, and I didn't do that course because it was enough. I got it.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of the best education I've ever took, to work in community and volunteer and just be with it, be with people, be with the challenges, be with the breakdown, and be with the greatness. Like this morning, Lewis Johnson said, "This is like the real deal MVP." And he just came out of broadcasting with NBC on the Olympics, and he was so glad to see Chyron. He is such a pro, and he was like, "This is gorgeous." So we're so excited that you guys get to experience such amazing technology brought to you by Chyron and the volunteer team. But we wouldn't be here, really. It takes dollars, and you guys have had such a generous sponsorship to be able to collaborate and work together.
Thank you. And it takes vision, and that's we're just pleased to be part of your vision.
Yes.
One of my favorite quotes, you're talking about teams, and
Yeah.
you and I have been around for a little while.
Yeah.
And we think of all these things we've learned and where we've learned them. One of my favorite quotes, and I wish I could say it in French, that's where it came from, but in English, alone I go faster, together I go further. And you're really taking what the esports community can do further, and we hope to take our technology further, and we're just happy to be growing with you.
Yes, that's amazing. And like you get it. And that was our vision that we created from the beginning, was just to be together. And I was like, I remember I was just so grateful when we talked. I'm like, Carol, this is going to be an experience. And that was the second point I wanted to make. At the end of the course I took, they called it trauma bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Exactly, that's right. And so there's capital T and there's small t, lower cap and big cap.
Right.
So capital T is like PTSD trauma, but little t is like healthy trauma, where you're like living on the edge. And there is something really called trauma bonding, and that's why like event people just bond, and there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, people come together to solve a problematic.
Exactly, and a challenge. Yeah, and with technology, that's how it goes. So I just, with love that we've done that together, because I don't want to like focus like there hasn't been challenges. I'm just saying that there's so much technology in the show to stream this live. We didn't even plan to do it live till last week.
That's right.
Well, there was an uptick in COVID last week.
Yeah.
So we got this platform that we've used before, Maestro, and we have your presentation, and it's just all worked out perfectly. I think this whole podcast was brought to us by UGC. Who sponsored this? UGC? We want to do the plug. Our podcast.
The Varsity Esports Foundation.
Oh, the Varsity Esports Foundation and UGC.
Awesome.
So, I mean, it just goes, thank you, Varsity Esports Foundation, Bubba. I mean, he made this all happen. Oh, there he is dancing in the background. Because you know what? We wouldn't even be here without him. You're next, Mr. Johnson. But I just want to thank you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you have just so much to do.
What time is your time?
Oh, well,
I'm having fun. This is it's fun to make stuff happen.
It is.
And you were talking about the trauma bonding and solving the problems of this weekend. And even though we're only halfway into the conference, we've met so many people and talked about their unique problems. So there's going to be this level, and then after this, we'll be working with this one about this and this one that might need something totally different. How can we approach each problem as an opportunity? And
exactly.
Best solution.
That's right.
Just one last little plug for anybody who's watching this on the stream.
Everybody, are you kidding?
Tomorrow morning, we're going to have a sneak peek. We're very excited. We have two people remoting in from the UK who are working as kind of our special forces team. They're working with FIFA E. We have a brand new contract, so how will those players, E-players, be coached in the way that real players are coached? How will their plays be tracked? And we're looking forward to sharing more about that.
Wow, thank you. That'll be amazing. We are so glad to have your partnership through this, and we just can't thank you enough. Chyron's just such a good company.
It's our pleasure, and you're a good company. So good attracts good.
Yes, thank you. And it's just wonderful that you're members, and you have such a great team. I mean, even Fred
and Sean, they're both excited to be here.
Yes, Fred Vint. Yes.
Working like crazy.
How about his son Parker is a member too? Did you know that?
I did know that, and I probably need to get my son signed up, so we'll just keep growing here. Yeah.
We will. We'll keep growing.
Yeah.
Well,
great stuff.
Yeah, and I'm really pleased with everything. So thank you for everything that you've done. And
it's my pleasure. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
All right. Well, enjoy Chyron's production, everyone. I am still your host, Megan Van Petten with Esports Connected. We'll see you next time.